Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I'll just complete our discussion how our mind operates. So this is very important discussion we have. So I will try to give some understanding. Of course, it is something from Bhagavatam, but some scientific understanding also, because we are from a scientific background. So we all went through technical educations and we had a very logical system of education. So we need to know some things little logically. It is little technical, but even if somebody didn't understand much, also don't problem. Ultimately, we have to chant Hare Krishna. Be happy. So ultimately, it is chanting only, but still, I will try to share some things which are helpful for understanding Krishna consciousness. So I'll just share the screen with all of you without my notes. So here we were discussing on yeah. So first thing I'll try to explain what is the difference the software and hardware of our body. Then many things will be answered. So you'll not have some confusion. So there is some confusion between hardware and software. So I'll try to explain this part and then I'll come to our main discussion. So here, any activity we do, there is a reaction. This we all know. Action has reaction. But this has this reaction which we call as karma. Now this karma, it decides many things. There are two aspects in karma. This we need to understand. So first aspect is when we perform karma, the karma decides what? First aspect decides what type of body I am going to get. And then what type of talents I get. You are a singer, dancer, or politician, or a manager. All these talents are dependent or also dependent on karma. And also it depends on our opulence. So how much opulence we get, it's all depends on karma. And then our relatives, our relationship, our relations, friends, and then most important, happiness and distress. So this is also dependent on karma. And also how much, what type of lifestyle we are going to have, diseases and other things, and health, we can say. So basically we all know this. Anything that is happening, people will say. But another important thing which we need to know, this karma, the activity also decides some other very important thing. This is sanskaras. Samskara means the tendencies. The tendencies and then the thought process. This is actually the software part. This is very important for us. Say very simple. Now any activity I am doing, say I did some activities in past life. I am like all of we are doing every day morning. We are reading Bhagavatam, we are hearing, and then we are trying to understand Krishna and all. So what happens in case for myself, I can tell that if, so what will happen my next life? What will happen, because I will not go back to content so easily. So what happens is I'll get a birth, if fortunately, if I am very good till my end, I'll get birth in a devotee family where I'll have devotional environment. My relative friends will be devotees. And then what type of body, talents, what I'll get. If I have very good Mridanga player this life, then I'll be good Mridanga player next life also, because my talents. Now this is what happened. So this is what I am getting external facility. But along with that, from the childhood only, I'll be inclined towards, because I did this service, these things from, so I'll be inclined towards that also. My tendencies will be, I'll be interested in I'll be interested in hearing Bhagavatam, playing Kartal. You see some small children from childhood only, they are interested in temple. Like I have I go to temple. That fellow every day college, he comes to temple and then go to college on the way. So how it is, this is from the previous sanskaras. So this is actually a very important part for us. So along with our external, there is internal programming also. Please try to understand. This is where the uh, problem with the scientists. They don't understand this part. Why they don't understand? Say, I'll give an example. Say if somebody got a machine. So if we have a laptop, if the same company laptop produced by same, all parts are same, it will almost function same only. You will not expect like, no, now I have Lenovo, I will not expect that it will work like a Mac right? It will like a Lenovo only. But if somebody has Mac, and so because it is produced from the same company, same parts are there, it will work the same. Now scientists, what they have problem is, there are same people are born, we are all given same missions. Like say twins are born in the same family, same environment, same parents, same birth, same time, but they have different tastes. Somebody will say I like red, somebody will say I like black. The scientists don't understand, both missions came out same, but according to them both should function same only, because the body is same. According to them body is same only, but it won't function. Why? Because the inside programming is different. This program is how, say, now we all have our mobile or laptop, but along with mobile and laptop we should have a Zoom app also. Otherwise we will not be able to uh, have this Zoom session. So more important is this Zoom app. Along with the laptop you need to have this app. Along with your mobile you need to have app also. App is like a software, mobile is hardware. So you need to have a software to perform that functions. Now scientists see that they have the same mobile, but they're functioning differently. Why? Because the software is different. Say some people's software are, their apps are all these Netflix and Amazon Prime and other movie, and they have software of news channels, apps of news channels, or some other you. And some people have in their mobile app of Bhagavatam, Veda base, Gita base, and all these lectures. So ISKCON Desiratory. So they will have this because this mobile has only this, so that will only come. Somebody has this, of course we have both. That is our problem. We are not completely that satisfied. So the point is what, our software is having a problem. So scientists don't understand mobile is same, but they don't know this subtle part that there is something called software also, which comes from previous life activity. And this life grow our upbringing also first 4 years. So this is actually what is not understood by uh, the uh, the scientist and all. They don't understand the software part, which we understand. That's why we are able to answer many questions which scientists cannot do, because they say, are same people, same situation, you program them and they should function same only, but they don't function same. Because even you give the same situation, you give same training in the classroom, only 30 children are there, everybody will get the same teacher, everybody will the same training, but all the children do not function same, because their internal setup is only different. First is that programming is different for everyone internally, which came from previous life. Second thing, the problem is they have their free will. Even if some programming are same, but they are going to act differently only. So these are the two problems which scientists cannot understand. We are trying to program because they think we are a machine. We are machine, but mission with our own freedom. Mission with already pre-programmed. These two things they cannot understand. So we need to understand the difference very clearly between hardware and software. So when Krishna talks, when the Shastra talk, they mostly focus on the software part. See, this is very important to understand. The shape of my body is actually my internal body. External body, what we are seeing, is actually internal body. That is the external form. So if a person's consciousness like a pig, then what is external body? Pig only. What is the body is indicating the internal state of a person. That is the point. So if anybody is doing any activities and his performance is in particular way, it is deciding his next body. And say, like say now a person wanted to, people generally want to, there is public display of affection. So public display of affection means uh, public display of affection is they want to show their affection in public. So boys and girls in metro trains and here there, they are trying to show how much they are affectionate to each other. But what happens, people are not so comfortable, and they also feel some uncomfortable because they can sense other people are feeling uncomfortable because of my affection for my boyfriend and girlfriend. So then what material nature does? Don't worry. You want to express your affection publicly? I'll give you a body of a dog or a cat. You can express your affection publicly to full extent and nobody will have any problem with that. So material nature facilitates our body according to the desire we have, like that, so that you can enjoy the desire to the fullest extent. That's how it is. So what we are doing is we are programming our software properly now. Otherwise our hardware will be very bad. If I can program my software completely spiritual, then what will be my external body? It is spiritual body. That's very simple. If I am not complete, then I have to come back again to clear whatever, because I have certain desires. Maybe why I did not become till now GPC or something. Then okay, don't worry, you come next life. Then you'll get that type of facilities or talents, and so that you can become. So whatever desires I cultivate, whatever I am programming my software like that, we are actually getting our next body is already designed, getting designed. We should be very careful. That's why. So this is a point. So why I'm telling is so that we don't get confused. See, the vasanas, vrittis, the sanskaras, all these things, what we have is the programming that we got already. And now the external body functioning. So what scientists, they generally they try to study is external body, but they don't know why external body performs differently for different thing, even though the parts are same only, because the programming they don't understand. So hope you all understood this point. Now, because I don't want you to get confused between external and internal thing, that's why I'm trying to share this point. And now I'll explain this what we discussed previously, some more points, because there were some questions. I thought I'll clarify what exactly the pleasure that we get in dopamine is. What is that pleasure that is discussed here? Now, so any doubts regarding hardware, software? Means I'm using hardware, software because that's the language we all heard from children. Hope it is clear. So now I'll try to explain the connection between hardware and software. How it is connected. Of course, there are two ways it is connected. Like okay. We have a question. Most of the scientists believe only which is visible to their senses. They can't understand which is sublime. They have diligently misused their intelligence in understanding matter, which is not the solution. In fact, our science and education are manufacturing fools, unfortunately. Yes. Like I will tell one example. How to and see what scientists say is this example you can remember. Nice, it is nice example. It will help you. What scientists say, from matter came the spirit. They say there are some ammonia acids, and then there were some what do you call uh, ammonia acids and proteins or whatever. So with this, actually your cells are formed. So, but without ammonia acids, one is not possible, and without proteins, ammonia acids are not possible. So they didn't understand how they came. Then they say suddenly they came. So together they appeared. So yes. So then scientists, they said together they appeared, and this matter suddenly they became proteins and ammonia acids. Together they appeared suddenly nowhere, and then this first cells appeared, and then suddenly from the first cell suddenly the soul appeared, like consciousness appeared, and then it was growing. So they tried to say from matter spirit. But the point is, from gross subtle things cannot come. From subtle gross things will come. Please understand this point. This is very good argument for all of us. From gross things subtle don't come. From subtle gross things will come. Say for example, I can program a lab computer. with artificial intelligence, and I can program a computer and make it design it can make a washing machine. A computer can make a washing machine, but a washing machine cannot make a computer, because computer is more subtler and washing machine is gross. Even though both are machine, but it is more subtler, it has it is more subtler thing. So from a subtle thing, gross thing will come. Gross thing, subtle thing cannot come. So from a washing machine, so computer cannot come, but computer can make a washing machine. Similarly, we are much more subtler. So from a spirit soul, the matter can be manipulated. So from Prabhupada give example of a lemon tree. Because the soul is there, it is producing so much of lemon, citric acid, because the soul is there in that. The soul is settled, it is producing so much matter. So now we are able to create a city. The manipulation is happening because the spirit soul entered in it, like that. So scientists cannot understand this point. Hope you all understood the example. So now we'll try to understand this, but unfortunately the Prabhuji already completed 11 chapters. I had to complete this chapter. So uh, so I will have to we will try to Krishna entering into Dwarka. We have to complete, but we'll complete only if you do homework. Hope you will do homework, and so that I will be able to take such topics which are uh, if it is helpful for all of you. So here uh, here so this one topic we'll see, I will try to take. I will explain, Mataji, this point. The question is, whatever pleasure we feel by hearing Bhagavatam or by any other devotional service is also because of dopamine. I'll come to that point. You asked me in the end, because it is not because of dopamine. There is some other thing also. So I will explain how it is. Now, this I'll just revise something and I will add some more points which will help you to understand this subject. And even if you don't understand, also don't worry. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Little technical. If somebody is interested to know how our hardware works, software is anyway Krishna is explaining. But somebody is interested this how the pleasure, because why it is important. What Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, scientists are also selling the same thing, and we already know it. And we need not do spending billions of rupees to get the same result. The research work they are doing, they are spending billions of rupees to come to the same conclusion, which Krishna is giving free. So why to waste our time, energy, and money so much to get to the same conclusion which Krishna already gave? But anyway, they have done something. We will try to discuss what they have done, because we'll also understand. Yes, Krishna is right. That's the only reason we are discussing. So now we saw that dopamine is all molecule that operates the entire sophisticated, very finely tuned system in the brain, and it actually basically helps to lead a healthy lifestyle, learn, avoid unpleasant things, and vice versa. And this is actually important point. This I will come to discuss when we are doing it. This part I want to discuss today is imagine ourselves to be God. So why this is important point, I will explain. So, and it is impossible to saturate, that also I'll explain. And dopamine system reacts very violently, and these are very violently to unpredictability, novelty, and when a person brings constant accustomed to self-stimulation with the help of reward, it focuses. So these are the four things that happens to these are the four problems with dopamine system. So it will never be saturated, and it reacts violently, and it makes one person egocentric. So, and then other things also happen because of this, and these are the consequences of person who is having this egocentric problem. So if he's having problem with ego, and these are the things which will happen to him. He will be hard-hearted, and he'll buddhi is turned off, and is deprived of freedom, and all these things will happen to a person who is Egocentric, this we have discussed, cannot predict the long-term consequences. He will not understand what is shreyas, and a person who is obsessed with desire for pleasure is completely blinded and cannot foresee any consequences. The main thing is that now I get what I. So these are things what will happen. Now, what is the understanding is this not a pleasure center, it's pleasure anticipation center. Uh, yes, Proj.
So can you just explain what is the deprived of freedom if one has a ego? You said, no. Can you just explain that if you don't mind?
Oh, okay, okay. So what happens is if somebody has this ego problem, he's so much focusing on himself, he will not understand what he's doing. He's completely obsessed with certain things. Like what happens is uh, uh, he will not be able to use his free will. He is programmed to perform in a particular way. Now, say I am a politician. Now I am so much into ego problem. So all my time, all my energy goes in proving my opponents are wrong and proving how I am right, how I am great, I am more better than other person. And so much I am obsessed and I am just working that I cannot think of anything else. Not even family, not even children, not even health, nothing, nothing, nothing. I am just into proving. So this is the point. If somebody's ego problem is always into establishing himself, this is what now if you see how much politicians day and night they are obsessed, how many people I have, how much I have, how much I have this, and they are not able to think of that there is some other thing you can be peaceful, you can be calm. It is not possible only for them. They're completely gone into it. And some people ego with the business. They want to become the top businessman. And because of that, what they do, they're completely caught up. How can we get free from it? Yes. I think one topic is like very big topic. If I keep on answering these questions, anyway, it will be big. But I will give brief answers. I'll give the exact answers. I'll not go in detail because it will be too. But it will help if you understand this one point. So hope uh, you understood this answer, Nabru. I'll answer the question, Padma. Yes, yes. So ego, the only way to utilize our free will is following Shastra. So if somebody is not following Shastra, is not using free will. He's just doing his activity according to program. I told already, we already have software. The apps are already fixed. Netflix is there and YouTube is there. All these apps are already fixed. So what the machine will do? No problem. So what the machine will do? The 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 machine will act according to the program which is already done. Your understanding. So you already have these apps. Unless you replace with Shastra, you are going to act according to the my mobile has these apps only. What it will do? It will show them only. I cannot open ISKCON Desire Tree or I cannot open Bhagavatam classes because I don't have that app only. So people, all these people, they already programs are already fixed for them. They are going to behave in that way only. They cannot come out of it. Only a person when he comes to Shastra and starts following Shastra, then slowly he can come out. Then the deprogramming starts. Shastra is the only way. If somebody is following Shastra, he is using free will. Otherwise, nobody is using free will in this world. Everybody is just programmed with whatever is happening to him and just living with the programming only. There is no way for him. There is no way out. Only way out. That's why previously people were having so much faith on Shastra. They used to say Shastra Shraddha. You need to have faith in the Shastras and Veda Vak, Shastra Vak. So this is what people used to these people what used to say, and they used to follow also like that. But nobody follows now, so they don't get any freedom from all this. Their apps are not deleted. They will just remain permanently in the system, and then they are in trouble. And people have this ego problem, and unless they surrender to a Vaishnava, there is no way they can come out. Also, another thing, the The only way they can come out is they have to go to a Vaishnava and Vaishnava show mercy on them. They can come out. Or even if they are following some Varnashrama Dharma where they are following Shastra, then also they can utilize their freedom. Clear, Mataji? This is just briefly I am trying to address you. Okay. So now I'll come to the point. So there are some very important things. Why I'm taking it revision so that something will stick. You will be able to remember and understand. I don't want to confuse, but I want to clarify that I'm taking same thing again. But I have added some more things which will I didn't actually explain in detail, so I thought I'll explain a little bit so that it will be clear for you. For is now this is a very important point I wanted to explain the connection between the why it happens, what is the sense pleasure which we are getting. So what happens is this the dopamine is actually does not give us pleasure, it brings us into a state of joyful excitement, brings this entire system into readiness or a stressful state, and a person takes this excitement as happiness. This is the problem. So like even whatever comes to the senses, so the pleasure which we explain, the momentary illusory material happiness is based simply on the stimulation of senses. Say now my senses come in contact with sense objects. Please try to understand. This is actually Krishna is also telling me. Say now I am taking a mango. Now if I eat a mango, my senses came in touch with the sense object, right? Now what happens? Immediately the dopamine excites. I feel some pleasure. So when I'm eating mango, where the pleasure comes, because there is arousal of dopamine, I feel pleasure. Now you say, Prosi, where is? My senses are enjoying. Your sense is enjoying because the dopamine is aroused. Now, when I'm eating the first mango, I am getting some pleasure. I ate 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th mango I'm eating. Will I get the same pleasure when I eat the first mango? Will I get? No. Why? Dopamine don't arise. It is, it saturates. Why that also I'll explain. So now senses come in contact with sense objects. Every time it should give pleasure, but it is not happening like that. After some time, what is happening? It is no more that much relishable. This is the first thing to understand. The first level of happiness which we all see is senses come in contact with sense objects. That is the initial level of happiness. There also dopamine rises. This is the first level where dopamine gives pleasure. You give something, dopamine is excited. You give, especially people have some different taste. And that is another problem. Some people when sweet they eat, they get very excited. Dopamine is there. Some people you give some salt item or some hot item or some other item. So that means why everybody has same tongue, na? But the programming of tongue is different. Hope it is a little technical, but you are able to understand. So the programming of tongue is different for you and me and all the devotees. That's how it is. So when I eat, I get excitement of my dopamine, and this is maja aa gaya. But the maja aa gaya is not all the time. It's only for some time. The same water, I go outside, very thirsty. So this is first part. Second thing, what gives dopamine the excitement? This is actually here. This part we have discussed 1, 2, 3, 4. But here also, so it gives a state of joyful excitement. So now if I say, wow, after this class I'll have mango juice. So then what happens if I say after this class I have mango juice, then I will come to a state of joyful excitement. This is the next level of happiness. First level of happiness is sensory level. Then you have mental happiness. That is also from dopamine only. It excites. You don't need the object only, you just have to imagine. So it gives a joyful excitement. So the anticipation, so the entire system into readiness. Yes, now just end the class and then you are end the class and you will enjoy the mango juice. So a stressful state and a person takes this excitement for happiness. So now I'll say, okay, for all of you there is a mango juice after class. This is mango season, so you all can have. So what happens? You will be anticipating, yes, When will the class end? After that, we have nice prashadam like that. So now, when we expect reward or anticipate reward, we confuse with happiness. You are seeing here. So I didn't get mango juice, but I got excited that I have mango juice. That itself made me happy. So this is a second level of happiness. First level is directly senses, but that also is very limited, right? Our senses are limited. How much? Even if I drink mango juice morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon for 3, 4 days, after that you'll say, no, dopamine will not arouse after that. You'll not feel excited. And a person pursues or interprets the arousal of happiness based simply, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hierarchy goes like the senses, mind, intelligence. Now, a person perceives or interprets this arousal of as happiness as a goal of life. They think, "Maja karne, I should excite my mind," and he uses different means to excite the mind. And if this is the goal of life, unfortunately, uh, we'll see how it is a problem. And they feel happiness. Actually, it's not happiness. Arousal of happiness is the goal of life. And then this is a very momentary, illusory material happiness based on stimulation of senses. This is also clear for all of you. And an intelligent person does not follow this so-called happiness which brings an end. This adyantavantu kaunte nateshu ramate Buddha. Ramate means who takes pleasure. Buddha means intelligent. The person who is intelligent does not take pleasure in adyantavantu kaunte, which has beginning and end. Adya and anta. It has a beginning and end. So this is not real pleasure. Real pleasure is something beyond this. That is what a intelligent person understands. That's why he does not keep this as the goal of life. Why it is not a goal of life for the person? Because he understands that it has a beginning and it has an end. That's why he don't keep this as goal. He wants something which is beyond beginning and end. He has something unlimited. So that is real happiness, which we all have to strive for. An intelligent person does not follow such so-called happiness, and dopamine puts a person in an excited state, and person accepts that excited state, and this is anticipation of happiness or promise of happiness. So this is actually what is the problem. So anticipation of heaven. Oh, I am going to get my new mobile after 1 month, or I am going to Mayapur after 3 days. It's exciting because it's spiritual. So the trouble is that we mistake the promise of reward for the reward itself. I didn't get only. The anticipation is only making me happy. The promise of happiness. The whole renewed system in our brain works on this principle of arousal of a person. So dopamine is excited. So and then works on this principle that you have to increase your dopamine, either directly attacking it or giving some anticipation. Direct is what? Directly you give some pleasures, but that pleasure is only limited because senses are limited. But mental pleasure is more. See, if we imagining or daydreaming person can enjoy for a long time, then directly do the activity. A person perceives or interprets the arousal as a happiness or as the goal of life. This we have discussed. So till now it is clear for all of you. Any doubts? Okay. So we'll go to the next level. And I'll just take this one part and then, yeah, this one part I will do. Because I have to complete purports also. I have to complete this 11th chapter because I am going for Mayapur Yatra. Then you'll have some more days of break. And water is in our fluctuation of pleasures and depressions, even though we understand the true happiness is found only in spiritual path, but still falls down some days. Fluctuation is because our programming is wrong. Our internal. I already shared these notes. I have made some more points I added, but I already shared these notes in the group. Again, I'll put the notes, revised notes. I just added some points, but this is I already shared. I'm just revising what we have discussed because I understand it's difficult to remember what all we discussed. So Kalpana Mata is asking why? Because our internal programming is wrong now. So sometimes, because we have both apps, we have Netflix also, we have Bhagavatam also. So the programming goes sometimes. Of course, I know you'll not have Netflix, but I'm just telling there is some other apps also. So it goes to that apps. That apps are also very prominent because they are from long time. So our software, the programming is like default, it goes for sense gratification. We have to forcefully bring. And this happens till we come to the stage of Nishta. When we come to the stage of Nishta, all our programs get deleted. That is the stage of all the wrong programs are deleted. That is Nishta. Yeah, that is when we come to the stage of Nishta, then all other apps are deleted. Only devotional apps are there. The mind will not go anywhere. Either it will go to Bhagavatam, either it will go to deity worship, either it will go to holy name or association of devotees. You are within that apps only. No apps are there. I am abusing the computer language and your mobile language to make it more easily understandable. That's hmm. So we have few more minutes. Uh, Maybe I will. We have to cover our syllabus also. So I will just read our purports for few minutes, if you don't mind, because that is also very important for all of us. I have to cover. I will. I have so many shlokas to cover. So please don't mind me. I know you are doing homework, but still I am in 22nd shloka. Some more shlokas will cover. Actually, I wanted to complete chapter 2, but maybe not possible. But some shlokas I will cover. So here we are discussing how Lord Krishna is entering. He entered into Dwarka and how they received him and they have performed. They are giving gifts and how city of Dwarka is decorated. How they are glorifying Krishna. Then now he enters into the. He is meeting them personally. Then the Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid Brahmanas and their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praise the glories of Lord. So here Prabhupada is writing how these people, they are not just glorifying, but they are actually glorifying properly to get benedictions. This purport also we read. And when Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roofs of their place just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival. So we have discussed this part also, how it is a great festival for the inhabitants. And then next shloka we should start 25th onwards. The inhabitants of Dwarka are regularly accustomed to look upon the reservoir of all beauty. Nityam nirikshamananam yadyapi dwarkaukasham na vitrupyanti hi drishaha shriyo damangam achyuta. So this is a very famous slogan. Na vitrupyanti hi drishaha. So they were never satiated. So even though they are looking every time, because this is dopamine won't work here. If it is a dopamine, it is saturated. Means they get bored after seeing the same thing. You want new. But when it comes to Krishna, this won't work like that. Krishna is always new for a person. He's just eternally looking at Krishna and he's happy and don't want anything. Can you imagine? So their software is not problem. Pure software. So when the ladies of the city of Dwarka got up on the roof of their palace, they never thought that they had previously many times seen the beautiful body of the infallible Lord. This indicates that they had no satiation in desiring to see the Lord. Anything material seen for a number of times ultimately becomes unattractive by the law of satiation. So this happens in the family life. Everybody has this experience. The law of satiation acts materially, but there is no scope for it in the spiritual realm. See, this is material. The Lord infallible. So Bhagavatam, here the question. Yeah, Swatu. So this is a question. When we hear Bhagavatam, it is not actually material dopamine arousal. It is actually spiritual. From the heart it comes, from the soul it comes. The word infallible is significant here because although Lord has mercifully descended to earth, he is still infallible. The living entities are fallible because when they come in contact with the material world, They lack their spiritual identity, and thus the body materially obtained becomes subject to birth, growth, transformation, and situations, deteriorations, and annihilations under the law of nature. The Lord's body is not like that. He descends as he is and is never under the law of material modes. His body is the source of everything that he be, the reservoir of all beauties beyond our experience. No one therefore is saturated by seeing the transcendental body of the Lord, because there is always manifestation of newer and newer beauties. This is another important feature of Lord's beauty. Whenever you look for the Lord, you look, he's more beautiful. And again, you look, you feel, sorry, I never saw this person. So Radharani tells to Lalita, who is this boy? I never saw this boy in our village. I'm first time seeing. How come somebody so beautiful? So whenever Radharani sees Krishna, he looks new. Who is this boy? So like that she asks sometimes. So the point is, uh, Krishna becomes new and more beautiful. The transcendental name, form. So same thing with the holy name. People are chanting the same name, they'll never get bored. If you Prabhupada says try to chant Coca-Cola, and some devotees they said they tried also, and after 10 minutes they their jaws will also pain also. Mouth is paining and they get bored also. But it does not happen with holy name, because it is not the arousal of dopamine. It's a transcendental. It's a pleasure from the art, like that. The transcendental name, form, qualities, entourage, etc. all spiritual transformation. There is no saturation in chanting the holy name of Lord. See, and there is no saturation in discussing the qualities of the Lord, and there is no limitation of entourage of the Lord. It is the source of all and limitless. So we discussed about dopamine. Prabhupada is also giving some indication about it. So they say Lord's chest. So this is also a very important shloka, but I will not read this. I'll just read the translation. The Lord's chest is the abode of goddesses of fortune. His moon-like face is drinking vessel for eyes. So very beautiful shloka. I'm afraid time is less. I will just. So his moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes, which hanker after all. That is beautiful. His arms are the resting place for the administrative demigods, and lotus feet are the refuge of pure devotees who never talk or sing of any subject except his lordships. So there are different classes of human beings, all seeking different enjoyment from different objects. There are persons who are seeking after the favor of goddesses of fortune, and for them, the Vedic literatures give information that the Lord is always served with all reverence by thousands and thousands of goddesses of fortune at the Chintamani Dham, the transcendental abode of the Lord, where the trees are all desired trees and the buildings are made of touchstone. The Lord Govinda is engaged here in herding the Zolvi cows as his natural occupation. This goddess of fortune can be seen automatically if we are attracted by the bodily features of the Lord. The impersonist cannot observe such goddess of fortune because their dry speculative habit, and those who are artists overtaken by the beautiful creation should better see the beautiful face of the Lord for complete satisfaction. The face of the Lord is the embodiment of beauty. What they call beautiful nature is but his smile, and what they call the sweet songs of the birds are good, but specimens of the whispering voice of the Lord. These are administrative demigods in charge of departmental service of cosmic management. There are tiny administrative gods in the state service. They're all afraid of other competitors, but if they take shelter of the arms of the Lord can protect them always from the attack of enemies. A faithful servant of Lord, engaged in service of administration, is the ideal executive head and will protect the interest of the people in general. Other so-called administrators are symbols of anarchies, leading to the acute distress of people who are governed by them. The administrators can remain safely under the protection of the arms of Lord. The essence of everything is the Supreme Lord. He is called Sar, and those who sing and talk about him are called Sarangas are the pure devotees. The pure devotees are always hankering after the lotus feet of Lord. The lotus has a kind of honey which is transcendentally relished by the devotees. They are they are like the bumblebees who are always after the honey. Srila Rupa Goswami, the great devotee Acharya of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, sung a song about this lotus honey, comparing him to the bee. Oh my Lord, I beg to offer my prayers unto you. My mind is like the bee and it is after some honey. Kindly therefore give my bee mind a place at your lotus feet, which are the resources of for all transcendental honey. I know that even big demigods like Brahma do not see the rays of the nails of your lotus feet. Even though they are engaged in deep meditation for years together, still, O infallible one, my ambition is such for you are very merciful in your surrendered for to your surrendered devotees. O Madhava, I know that I have no genuine devotion for the service of your lotus feet. But because your lordship is inconceivably powerful, you can do what is impossible to be done. Your lotus feet can derive even the nectar of the heavenly kingdom. Therefore, I am very much attracted by them. O supreme, eternal, pleasant, therefore, please therefore, let my mind be fixed at your lotus feet, so that eternally I may be able to relish the taste of your transcendental service. The devotees are satisfied with being placed at the lotus feet of Lord and have no ambition to seize all beautiful face or aspire for the protection of the strong arms of Lord. They are humble by nature, and the Lord is always leaning towards such humble devotees. So it's actually a very nice understanding. So please go through it again. Try to meditate and understand, because I will not be able to take more detail. But this is a very important point here. I will add two more. We'll discuss few more. Read few more words. As the Lord passed along the public roads of Dwarka, his head was protected from the sunshine by a white umbrella. White hair fans moved this chamara in semicircle, and showers of flower fell upon the roof. His yellow garments and garlands of flowers made it appear as if a dark cloud was surrounded simultaneously by the sun and moon, a rainbow and light. Sun, moon, rainbow, lightning do not appear in the sky simultaneously. Slokas are very nice. Prabhuji is anyway going to cover, so we'll go with the purport and translations. When there is sun, the moonlight becomes insignificant, and then there are clouds and a rainbow. There is no manifestation of lightning. The Lord's body hue is just like a new monsoon cloud. He is compared herein to the clouds. The white umbrella over his head is compared to the sun. The movement of bunch hair fan of flux is compared to the moon. The showers of flowers are compared to the stars. His yellow garments are compared to lightning, and the flower garlands are on his chest are compared to a rainbow. So all these activities of the uh, firmament being impossible, simultaneous factors cannot be adjusted by comparison. The adjustment is possible only when we think of the inconceivable potency of the Lord. The Lord is all powerful, and in His presence, anything impossible can be made possible by inconceivable energy. But the situation created at the point of His passing on the roads of Dwarka was beautiful and could not be compared to anything besides the description of natural phenomena. So we will take next shloka. Yes, after entering the house of his father, he was embraced by the mother present, and the Lord offered his obeisances unto them by placing his head at their feet. The mothers were headed by Devaki, his real mother. Purport. It appears that Vasudeva, the father of Lord Krishna, had completely separate residential quarters where he lived with his 18 wives, out of whom Srimati Devaki is the real mother of Lord Krishna. So they had joint family, but they didn't stay together. And houses besides. So it is authorized if somebody has such systems. Then it not be in the same house. Even Krishna is also not living like that. So not a problem. They have their separate quarters. Separate quarters means separate kitchen also. So no problem. But in spite of this, all other stepmothers were equally affectionate to Krishna, to him, as well be evident from the following verses. Lord Krishna did not distinguish his real mother from his stepmothers, and he equally offered his obeisances unto all the wives of Vasudev present on the occasion. According to scriptures, also, there are seven mothers: the real mother, the wife of spiritual master, the wife of a brahmana, the wife of a king, the cow, the nurse, and the earth. All of them are mothers. Even by this injunction of the Shastras, the stepmothers or wife of the father is also as good as mother, because the father is also one of the spiritual master, the Lord of the universe. Plays the part of an ideal son just to teach others how to treat their stepmothers. The mothers, after embracing their son, sat him on their laps. Due to pure affection, milk sprung from their breasts. They were overwhelmed with delight, and the tears from their eyes wetted the Lord. The Lord was at Vrindavan. Even the cows would become moistened by affection towards him, and he would draw milk from the nipples of every affectionate living being. So, what to speak of stepmothers, were already as good as his own mother. Thereafter, the Lord entered his palace, which really. Yes, Kalpana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji.
No.
Prabhuji, this aspect of like when the mothers of the Lord, when Lord met them, uh, they started expressing their affection and the milk started flowing. This discussion we had in our regular Bhagavatam class also. At that time, a few Matajis told that because they eternally have that rasa, like Vatsalya rasa is there. That's why at any moment of there is no age bar or something. Whenever they see the Lord, their affection is always the same. I just have a question, Prabhuji, because what we have one rasa means that will be only present, or we can have different rasa which Lord can reciprocate for fulfill in the different universe, or a different leela also can happen, Prabhuji, or eternally. Like suppose if I have a friendly rasa with Krishna means every time I can have only that rasa, or Lord can give us an opportunity to have that exchange in a different rasa in a different universe. Is it so, Prabhuji? Or it is eternal?
Actually, living entity is satisfied, matter. That is Sai Bhava. He is satisfied in that rasa. He may appreciate other rasas, but he don't want it. Like Hanuman, na, he always want to be in that Dasa rasa only. He may appreciate others, but for him he is completely satisfied. He will always want to be in that rasa. Even when he comes Chaitanya Lila also, he want to chant the name of Ram only. So that will be we are completely satisfied. We don't need only anything. It's
But
like that.
Prabhuji, have that two kind of rasa, or does Krishna fulfills that also?
Yeah, if it is there, Krishna will definitely fulfill. That is not impossible for Krishna. So Uddhava want to become a stone in Vrindavan, and Brahma wanted to become. So Lord Shiva is coming. He wanted to be a gopi. So there are some living entities who want to become. Lakshmi also want to become gopi, but she's not getting chance. Lord Krishna what he can fulfill. Shiva is becoming a Gopeshwar Mahadev. So Shiva became a gopi. So it is possible, but generally living entities are satisfied with their rasa, but it is possible. You can have both. So now Krishna met his mothers. Now he is going to meet his wives. Thereafter, Lord Krishna entered his palaces, which were perfect to the fullest extent. His wives lived in them. They numbered over 16,000. So Lord Krishna had 16,108 wives, and for each and every one of them, there was a fully equipped palace, complete with necessary components and gardens. Full description of these palaces is given in the 10th canto. All the palaces were made by the best marble stones. They were illuminated by jewels and decorated by curtains and carpets of velvet and silk, nicely bedaubed and embroidered with gold laces. The personality of Godhead means one who is full with all power, all energy, all opulence, all beauties, all knowledge, and all renunciation. Therefore, in the palaces of the Lord, there were nothing waiting for fulfilling all desires of the Lord. The Lord is unlimited, and therefore his desires are also unlimited, and the supply is also unlimited. Everything being unlimited, it is consciously described here. They are sarva kama, or full with all desired equipment. So how these palaces and all, because they are in the spiritual world is conscious. So what happens? They become more and more beautiful. The objects also, when you look, the design is very beautiful. Again, you look, the design changes. You'll get a different design, and it looks much more beautiful. Again, you look the same pot or same jar or same thing. It looks more beautiful. That is how the spiritual world is. It is always increasing in beauty, a spiritual world. And that's why it is never boring. The queens of Lord Sri Krishna rejoice within their minds to see their husband uh, home after a long period abroad. The queens at once got up from their seats and meditation. As we uh, as was socially customary, they covered their faces shyly and looked over calmly. So this is some very big purport is homework. I'm actually feeling very bad that I'm not able to read for all of you, but because I want to cover some topics, that's why we have 36. My God, we have so many purports. So I think we have to take one more date. It's already 9:20. So I am sorry. We will try to complete this purpose tomorrow. And thank you all very much. And the remaining topic of our discussion, there are some more important things. Actually, many things are there, but about social networking also there. Social mobile and other, that addiction is also very important. Why I want to tell is because you can discuss with your preaching and all, it will help you, especially for network. And some points in this also will help you how this metal is temporary pleasure and all. That's why I'm trying to share. Hope it is helping. And what I will do, I will, because I'm going out of station. Uh, I'm going Mayapur Yatra for almost till 14th. I am going. I will go on second, but I'll see if in between possible I'll try to take classes. If my network is not good, then I may skip some classes. So I'm leaving on second, coming back on 14th. So big holidays there for all of you. Again. So thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. We'll end here.